we've got to talk about something amazing that is happening right now. And that is people are actually starting to do their own research. I know. Before y'all go crazy, because I know some folks are gonna say, Rich, that's not crazy. You know, that's not wild. But it is. Because so many people, for so long now, have listened to mainstream media or seen little clips on social media and believed it as if it was the gospel. We've seen that time and time again. But now I feel like we're moving into an era where someone will see a clip, they will hear something crazy. Instead of just simply believing what that clip said, now they're going to look up the original source and watch the entire video. And that is what is happening now with this whole Charlie Kirk situation, because of course, people couldn't smear him while he was here and prove anything while he was here. So now they're trying to do it in his passing, but it ain't working. So with that being said, let's dive in.
Let me just clarify. Y'all made me obsessed with Charlie Kirk. This came out of the blue for me. I never cared for bro content like that. Nothing against what he said. I was just never interested in clicking his videos to see what he had to say. But y'all made me deep dive and go down this rabbit hole because there was no possible way that y'all seen the same video I saw and half the world rejoiced it. And I'm just sitting here like, there's no way. Immediately I'm sitting here like, bro, nobody deserved to go out like that in front of all them kids, in front of his family. And y'all rejoiced it. Y'all celebrated it. And y'all ain't even had nothing to do with it. So I said, bro, he must have said something. I'm missing something. I'm seeing creators that used to talk about God and is going to get on here and compromise their belief, religion, faith to celebrate death. We talking about something that's biblical that you should never do. And folks is coming on here doing it. So I said, I got to deep dive into what he said, because is he on the status of Hitler? What am I missing? And somebody said, well, he would have did that for you. Well, I don't care. My morals would never allow me to celebrate death. Doesn't matter who it is. So the fact that you've been compromised, I have to get down to the bottom of it. And not just one person, too many. So y'all encouraged me to go down this rabbit hole to figure out what bro has said for this hate to be sparked up or maybe revealed in a lot of people. And I'm almost satisfied, because now I started looking into stuff and I'm like, dang, so you felt like this, your hate and evilness has been revealed within you. But what you said to what he said is cap. That's not even what he said. That's not even in the full context. So now I'm just starting to, oh, that was a lie. Oh, that was a lie. Wow. So, so now I don't know. I'm deep in it now. Pause.
Knee deep in it now. People are knee deep into researching who Charlie Kirk was and what he really said. You know, and this is only going to make more and more people turn away from the left, because they're going to be proven to be blatant liars once again. But there's more.
Interesting. Y'all know Charlie Kirk was correct about the whole empathy thing, right? Because so many people are justifying what happened to him because he doesn't have empathy, so they don't want to have empathy for him. Interesting. But people are chopping up his quote and not including the rest of it that says that he prefers compassion and sympathy, because empathy, he believes, is used for political purposes, and people use empathy to say, well, oh, I know what it's like to be you, I'm in your shoes, while sympathy is like, I don't know exactly what it's like to be you, but I can sympathize with your situation. I can understand it, or try to understand it. Weaponizing feeling is the game of the left. That's their whole thing. And they'll claim that their political opponents don't care about you and they care about you, so they are the moral superiors. I went to a picnic. It was a Democrat picnic. They didn't know I was Republican. I've talked about this a lot. But there was Justice Bernstein. He was saying, I love being a Democrat because we actually care about people and want to make the world a better place. And I was just floored that a justice was so blatantly partisan, because I've heard other like conservative justices or judges talk at different parties and have talked to them one-on-one. And I've never heard people say something that blatantly partisan before? Or how many times have you heard, oh, I can't believe that any woman would vote for Republicans. They don't care about women. Or I can't believe any black people would vote and be a Republican because they don't care about black people. And I think it's so interesting because when I press people, it doesn't seem like they care about me, not as an individual, but they seem to think that they know how I should feel in my shoes and in my skin, even if they're white. They feel like they know how I should feel, and they feel offended that I don't feel how I should feel in their opinion. Or how many times have you heard, oh, Republicans, they don't actually care about babies. They don't care about kids after they're born, which isn't true. But even if it were, if they were just trying to stop babies from being unalived, isn't that itself a good thing? Like, if you didn't care about me at all, but at the very least you're like, no one should brutally unalive her, I'd be like, well, at least thanks for that. But I got a suspicion that that's not how alive you feel, because if you would cheer for what happened to Charlie Kirk, you would probably cheer for that happening to me. Because the empathy is performative. It's virtue signaling to try to get the collective together, to try to brainwash people into believing that you're the good guy and the people who don't care about you are the bad guys. You know how many times people try to convince me to have different views because my side apparently doesn't care about me? My side doesn't treat me like a pet or a concept. I'm an individual. I'm certainly not going to side with the people who justify political violence because the victim lacked empathy.
Boy, was she cooking. Man, all she needed is an apron, baby. She was cooking. Cooking. So many facts in that. Democrats rely on people's emotions and brainwashing folks. Republicans don't care about you. Prove it. Well, you know they don't care about you. And it's just like, come on, bro. You're only saying that because that's what you've been told. You have zero proof of it. Zero. But they've been brainwashed to think that way, man. But there's more.
I'm a lifelong Democrat, and I have spent hours out of my life the past few days watching Charlie Kirk debates. And if that pisses you off, then you especially should stay. Because when I tell you I've been absolutely consumed, not by the debates themselves or why I didn't agree with him, but it's our party that has left me feeling unsettled. And if you're a Democrat watching this, I really hope you take this not as an attack, but like from a friend who really cares. First, let's talk about the concept of mob mentality, which by definition just means being influenced by a larger group and losing your own personal judgment in the process. And the example I want to use is that clip that was everywhere, that went viral, everybody was quoting it, where Charlie said, "I don't like the word empathy." We've probably all seen the short and the long version at this point, where he goes on to clarify that he prefers the word sympathy. Agree with him or disagree with him, doesn't matter to me. The point is, the real conversation never happened because the clip was cut in half. Why? To reinforce the idea that the right is full of these monsters who reject human feelings, right? That wasn't an accident. That omission was deliberate and strategic so that you would form an opinion about a person without using your own informed personal judgment. Does that bother you? If somebody's truly evil, shouldn't the truth just be enough? Shouldn't we be trusted to come to the right conclusion all on our own? Maybe you would have come to the same conclusion, but maybe you wouldn't have. And then there's the hypocrisy, okay? If you honestly asked me how many times in the past year I've seen the left dox and unemploy a person over hateful speech, I wouldn't be able to. And I get it, actions have consequences, I'm not arguing that, but the same principles apply to us. If we sound the fascism alarm, we cannot celebrate death over speech. If we advocate for gun control, we cannot celebrate gun violence. If we call for diversifying our worldview, we can't then close off conversations that are uncomfortable but that could possibly, maybe, lead to some kind of understanding. If we call the right a cult, we cannot cancel influencers who show empathy and sympathy to the wrong family. Think about it. One of the signs of a cult is pressuring members to cut off family members and friends who are outside of the group. Another is using guilt and shame to enforce conformity. Another, creating a me versus them mentality, demonizing them and creating dependence in us. I really feel like Finnick right now.
Remember who the real enemy is.
If you take nothing else from this video, I really hope it's this. It's not about Charlie Kirk. It's about us taking the time to reflect. Are we living up to our own standards and our own ideals? Are we leading with integrity, or are we just falling into a different version of the same trap? Because from my viewpoint, I don't know, it feels like we're becoming a lot like the things we claim to stand against.
Hold on, I wanna give her a shout out, man. What is her name? Was that her name that was on the screen? I don't think that is.
Force the idea.
I don't think that is. If anybody knows who she is, let me know in the comments, all right? Because that, ladies and gentlemen, that is a Democrat that I haven't heard a Democrat make that much sense since I even started being involved in politics. Like, I'm shocked that she's a Democrat. Girl, how are you a Democrat? That made way too much sense. Way too much sense. Like, what in the... I'm confused. I'm confused. Shout out to her, man, because that... Listen, I don't agree with the party that you support, but boy, were you making some sense. A whole lot of sense. Goodness gracious. Is anybody else just scratching? Like, how is she a Democrat? How is she that made so much sense. I swear to you, I'm not even trying to be funny. I haven't heard a Democrat make that much sense since I started paying attention to politics. I just haven't. I haven't. And I've documented a lot of this the whole journey, really, right here. So you guys have gotten to see it. Like, what in the world is going on with that clip, man? Goodness gracious. Shout out to her, man. Shout out to her. I would suggest she probably should switch parties. I'm just saying. I think this Democrat Party of today is probably a lost cause. It's probably a lost cause. Honestly, both parties for a while, I think were a lost cause. The old Republican Party, the Liz Cheneys of the world, the Mitch McConnells of the world, right? Amongst others. That Republican Party was a lost cause. But once Uncle Trump hopped on the scene, we got a new Republican Party, and we're moving in a different direction than the old Republican Party was going in. So now we've got a great party here. And I would encourage her to join the party because, we have a lot of former Democrats. The leader of the party, Uncle Trump, is a former Democrat. We got Tulsi Gabbard, former Democrat. RFK Jr., former Democrat. A lot of the people that voted for Uncle Trump were Democrats, voted for Joe Biden, right? And Barack Obama. So, man, that was incredible. That was incredible. I got one more clip for y'all, though. Here it is. Check it out.
Okay, this is going to be a little bit different video than I normally drop, but y'all listen very, very closely. Come. Let me tell you something. I have finally figured out who this Charlie Kirk person is. I've been hearing people texting me, people sending me videos that I ain't had time to look at or nothing like that. So I finally went and did my own research because I don't really be on social, be honest with you, I post social media, but I don't really be on social media like that. So I finally went and did my research on Charlie Kirk. So as I go through my TikTok, I look at videos, people posting controversial. People have even started to attack some creators because they actually were saying certain things about Charlie Kirk. And I'm going to tell y'all my opinion. And if you're sensitive, you might want to leave my platform because my social media is not called Real Talk with Tisha for nothing. Y'all say y'all want real talk. Y'all say y'all want people to keep it real. But when it definitely comes down to being real, a lot of us don't want that real. You know what I'm saying? So let me tell you this right here. A year ago or 2 years ago, whenever it was, when Donald Trump was campaigning, I was one of the creators that said that I was glad that Donald Trump was going to be getting into presidency. I said a lot of things about Donald Trump. I said I do not vote for Kamala Harris and all that. I was attacked all over social media. They talked about my accent, told me I need to get educated. Called me all kind of H words and N words and everything else. But at the end of the day, I got respect for people that stand on what they believe. I'm gonna tell you something. You can call people raccoons. You can call them whatever they want to do. You can put dancing raccoon. But one thing I know for sure, I got a lot of respect for people that stand on what they believe in, because you don't got the balls to speak on social media. Some of y'all don't even got a profile picture. Some of y'all can't even say anything in public, but you can't go against the grain on anything because y'all are a yes woman. Y'all are a yes man. And I got respect for people that stand on what they believe. I got a lot of respect for Donald Trump, because Donald Trump don't cut it. He don't give a fuck what you say, what do you like. He stand on what he is and he say what he. You can't do that though.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I love the most about Uncle Trump. He doesn't apologize for anything. He speaks his mind. He says what's on his mind, and he means what he says, and he says what he means. He's not one of these politicians who wants to tell you a bunch of sweet nothings, who wants to tell you what you want to hear. He's going to tell you what you need to hear. And sometimes you ain't going to like what it is that he has to say. I didn't like what he had to say a couple of times, and I voiced that. But I like him because he stays the same. He's never changed. He's him. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that I respect the most about Uncle Trump. I love it.
Can't be who you is. You got to follow the crowd. You got to say what people will appease to. Well, a lot of time when people feel, I feel things, but you ain't got to say everything you feel. No, that's why your hair falling out. That's why you gray. That's why you taking pills to help you sleep at night, because you can't be expressive like most people. I got some people that I follow on the other side of social media that I actually look up to. Candace Owens is one of them. I got Candace Owens. She is one of the women. Keita Rose, women like that. A lot of people say, oh, they got a loud mouth. They'll say anything. They ain't got no filter. Now, I got a lot of respect for them that stand on what they believe in, because one thing I do, I got to respect a person that stand on what they believe in, because some of y'all ain't got the balls to do anything. Y'all get in here, y'all run with the grain on everything. Y'all, if y'all don't care what the majority is running for, whatever the majority is, you're going to go for it, because you are follow the leader, son of a SOBs. And I can't cuss like I used to. Y'all are follow the leaders. That's all you are. You would love to be a leader, but you ain't got it down in you to be a leader. So stop judging people and not liking people. And a lot of time what these people saying is absolutely true. Stop blaming people because the black community ain't getting where they need to be. Look around you. You're destroying each other. You're killing each other. You tear each other down. Ain't no white man fault. It ain't nobody's fault that you can't make it because you've been in the project for 17 years. Stop using the race card and get up off your ass and try to do something. You can't, I'm telling you, some of that stuff is the God honest truth. Some of y'all immigrants come here and you do want to lay back. You want that word to take care of you. What Donald Trump's saying is true. It is what it is. Some of this is true. But you just do not want nobody to say it because it hurts people's feelings and people shouldn't say it. The truth is the truth and it's going to stand. Now, sometimes my grandma used to say the truth will slice you. But it should slice you. Because some of y'all need to be sliced. God didn't make everybody the same. Everybody can't be a leader. And everybody can't speak boldly. But you ain't going to parade and make videos and be mad and they got an opinion. And they said their opinion. Because y'all got an opinion. But you would rather put your head in the dirt. Get the hell out for him hating on people that's strong enough to say what they can say. They say that you can't say. In the name of Jesus. Goodbye.
Man, I love that woman, man. Love that woman. Hold on, let me give her a proper shout. Real talk with Tisha. Real talk with Tisha. Hold on, let me put her on the screen for y'all so y'all can go give her a follow, man. There she is right there. Here is her TikTok account, Real Talk with Tisha. Hey, shout out to you, girl. Hey, that was on point. That was on point. Being real is rare these days. You got a whole lot of fake mother lovers out here in these streets. And then you also got a bunch of people, like she said, that hate on the people that actually are bold enough to speak their mind. And then have the nerve to get offended when those same people just speak the truth. What was Charlie Kirk lying about? What was he lying about? And the excuse is always, especially from these so-called black leaders, right? It's, well, the racism. And it's like, bro, what? Like, that's always the excuse. Or the whataboutism. It's always some whataboutism. It's never, you know what, actually, we do need to improve here. We do need to do X, Y, and Z. We do need to stop killing each other. We do need to, instead, but it's never that. it's always, let me point the finger somewhere else, or let me do some whataboutism. And well, what about white people? You know, and it's just like, I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. It's so weak. It's so pathetic, you know. But no, I agree with her. And like I said before, if anyone knows who this lady is, let me know in the comments or send this video to her. Jesus Louise, because she was on point too. She spoke some hot fire. I'm shocked that she's a Democrat. She got to be a Republican. she had to be lying about being a Democrat. Ain't no way. She was making too much sense right there. But shout out to all of them, man. Y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comments. Y'all stay safe out there, all right? Peace and love. I'm out.